Welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. It's Thursday and I have another tip for you. Something I've never done before is I gave you a teaser on Tuesday, said come back on Thursday, see the rest of the project. So I showed you how to make confetti an easier way than I was making it. And of course, it kind of irritated me that I figured that my friend shared it after I had made 10 or 12 baskets and made the confetti the hard way. But you know what? I'm going to share that tip with you again if you didn't watch Tuesday, and then show you these adorable little baskets that I made for Kitten Cup this week. So I'm going to switch the cameras around. Kitten Cup is always the last Tuesday of the month. We meet at 10 and 2 coffee and have a great time. Had a great time this week, and I think they really liked the baskets. All right, so this is what I showed you on Tuesday. I cut these strips at 1/8 of an inch, and I left the end here so that I can just come back with my scissors and snip that little edge that I didn't trim, and I'll have confetti. Okay, so I've already cut some of that, so you didn't have to watch me cut a whole bunch of times. And you can use our fabulous new corrugated embossing folder. So take that paper, lay it in here. It is a thick one, so you would use the base and number 4, run it through, and then you'd have all your little pieces embossed. All right, this is a piece of 6x6 designer series paper. I'm using the Full of Life designer series paper. And I'm going to score this at 2. Oops, you can't see it here. Here we go. Up, see, there's my strips for you. 2 and 4. And I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to score it at 2 and 4. All right, that's it for scoring. Now I'm going to grab my scissors, and you want to look at this and decide which 2 sides you want to be the edge of your basket. And I always like having the pink on there. So I'm going to cut. I'm cutting up to that score line. So I'm taking one score line and cutting up. I need to bend that a little bit so I can see it. I didn't have any trouble doing this when I wasn't on camera. I missed. All right, so right on that score line and up to the next score line. And I'm going to turn it around so I'm doing it on the same lines. Boy, when I went on camera, this just works slick as could be. All right, so see how they're across from each other. Now I'm going to fold each one up, and this will just make your basket sit nice. So if you score this ahead of time, the first basket I made, especially these ones on the end, you want to score. But we'll do all of them. All right, now you want the inside piece to be on the inside, and I'm just going to bring up these edges. I'm going to grab my adhesive. I decided the easiest way was to put glue along the edge, the top edge of the middle piece. And then you want it on the inside edge and top edge of the one that's going to be on the outside, and inside edge on this one. I'm going to turn around and do both of them at the same time. So the middle one goes across. This one, we're going to do the inside edge and the top edge, and this one just the inside edge. I did it separately when I was making them, and it made the second one a little more difficult if I had to add glue. So now what I'm doing is I'm joining the 2 points together. I did watch a video, and one lady snipped off the points of all 4 corners before she put it together. I'm covering mine up, so it doesn't really matter. But if you're not going to cover it up, you might want to snip off the edge. So you would just right across there, so it doesn't have a point. It would be flat. All right, so there's the base of your basket. And now you see why you wanted to score those lines. The first one I did, I scored one and not the other, and it didn't sit nice and flat like that. Okay. All right. Now, here's another tip for you. I made my confetti and then I put it in here and I put my Easter eggs in, which are heavy because I did Reese's eggs, and they shrunk clear down. And I really didn't like that. So what I did was I came back and I took a piece of the Granny Apple Green, okay? And I made it just about the width or the length of the basket. And then you're just going to kind of crunch it up. You don't want it just flat. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a little like table in the bottom so you don't have to use quite so much confetti. Now I'll tell you my confetti story while I'm working on this. I went to a retail store to buy confetti because I thought, oh, I'm just going to buy some confetti. My first problem is when I looked at it, I thought, oh, I'm not sure that's going to match my paper. And now that I know that papers can match, I always want everything to match. So I bought white. I thought it'll be okay. And it was kind of shiny. I got it home. It was so staticky, I could not get it to go into the baskets. So that irritated me. So I was trying to think, what can I do? Well, I'm a crafter. I might as well make my own confetti. So that's when I started making these, and I crimped it and then cut it. Do not do that. I do not recommend that at all. All right, so here's my little table, and I'm going to mount it, just set it right down there in the bottom of my basket. And you want it to take up quite a bit of space because now we're going to take our confetti and we're going to roll it into a ball. And the reason I'm doing that is just to kind of get it all scrunched up. And then we're going to set it in here like that. Then we're going to put, oh, I forgot my handles. I forgot some of the decorating. So then what I did is I looked, because each of these baskets have different patterns on them. So I kind of looked to see, well, what colors? This one has petal pink. It's got the berry burst. It's got some greens. So I think what I'm going to do is for my handle, I'm using the lemon lime twist. This, I think I did, is 8.5. Yep, it's 8.5. I made it a 1/2 inch wide. And I'm going to put my handle on. So we're just going to put some adhesive on both ends. This would have been easier if I had done this before I put my confetti in there, but I don't think it's going to cause a problem. And then I made sure that my little handles were centered on that point because I wanted to make sure it was nice and balanced. It stands up nice. Okay, so it's meeting right, the tip of those two sides is right in the middle of your handle. Okay. Then I did something I don't normally do. I went and grabbed my old daisy punch. I always try to use current product. Honestly, I was in a hurry trying to get these done because I kind of forgot that I didn't have something ready for my ladies. I give a little gift, or I try to every month, if people tell me they're coming to Kit and Cup. And since this will be the last time we meet before Easter, I thought an Easter basket would be fun. So I grabbed that. Then I've got another little tip for you here. I'm grabbing some Daffodil Delight cardstock. Now, I know, well, it's right here in front of me. I know that I just need the circles here. So when you're cutting, think about that. So what I'm doing is I'm just going in with this and I'm just making sure that I'm getting that round circle. I don't need to punch a whole daisy because I'm just going to cut off the circles, right? Like that, and it saves some paper. I also had a lot of fun with the cutting the daisies, trying to see how much I could scrunch them together to get more out of a sheet. All right, so I'm going to just trim around the yellow, make that my center. I tried going and getting a circle punch, but the circle punches I had that I could get to were a little big and I didn't like them. So then I was trying to figure out what to do and went, well, silly, you've got a circle right here. So I'm just cutting off the edges of the yellow to make my circle. You will be seeing a video very soon on what we're going to be doing for the April technique. I'm so excited. A fellow demonstrator, Paula, shared all these amazing things you can do with the enamel effects, and we are going to be playing with those. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a special deal that if you order the enamel effects before the class, one, you'll have all the goodies to take home with you after class, because don't you hate it when you have to order it and wait for it? All right. So watch for that. All right, another tip I figured out as I was making several of these is go ahead when you've got your glue going good to add glue to all 4 daisies. Then we're going to stack them up. You could use the translucent floral flowers. Those would be pretty. The cheerful daisies would be pretty. Like I said, I don't have my die cut machine up here, so I wasn't able to die cut anything. And I was too lazy to run downstairs and get it, so just grabbed my daisy punch. There, don't this turned out cute? All right, so I told you the reason I wasn't worried about the points on my basket is because my daisies are going to cover them up. So turn it like that, put it right over the handle. I just think these are so cute. And the fun thing is you're using 6x6 square. So if you're using 6x6 paper, you're just using one of each basket or one of each paper. If you're using 12x12, cut it into 4. You can get 4 out of one piece of paper. All right. So I like variety. So in each of my baskets, I'm making sure I have 3 different colored Reese's eggs. And there you go. There's my Easter basket. Isn't that cute? Hope you like this project. If you need some Easter baskets, you've got some time to get that done because you have almost a month. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next week.